I actually want to read this one. This one looks really interesting. Scratching, alright? Actually, my window is open. Better check your window. Okay, so you guys see how this isn't even that long. Alright, let's get started. Okay. I have to type this quickly. Please, just give me a chance to explain. I told the police what I'm about to tell you, but they refuse to believe me. A friend told me that you folks might have some idea of what I'm dealing with here. In my backyard, the yard is overgrown. There is an old shed that we haven't had access to for years. Peeking inside the single dusty pane on the garage, there is nothing remarkable to see. Tired old tools, shelves, and spiders skittering into the darkness. My wife and I have a Shiba Inu, a very cute dog and also very intuitive. It knows somehow when anyone is sad or even slightly stressed. Stop. Dude, we just getting started, man. Closing it's closing it because it's cold. Yeah, I suggest you do that. All right. All right, let me get back. I'm probably gonna not check the chat. Check the chat afterwards so that way I don't break up the story. All right. Alright, so let's get back. Where were we? Okay, it knows somehow when anyone is sad or even slightly stressed, and he will toss his body onto you to comfort you whether you like it or not. We will always just let him go running out into the yard to let him do his thing, and he always comes running back. He loves crashing through the overgrown backyard that our landlord refuses to cut. Ferns and bamboo mix to create a veritable Vietnam. I think I pronounced that wrong. Veritable, yeah, I think I pronounced it right. Veritable Vietnam, especially on hot nights like last night. To write as clearly as I am, it is taking all of my focus. What I saw makes me laugh and cry at the same time to think of, and I couldn't sleep at all because of it. I kept my shotgun with the rack open next to me in bed, and my wife did not even protest. She did not see, but she could hear it, and the police thought we were pranking them. So much for protect and serve. I let the dog outside as usual, and he ran into the underbrush with a hop and a skip. But as I closed the door behind him to prevent the cloud of mosquitoes from coming inside, I heard something else out there with him. Thinking a possum or the like, I stuck my head outside to call the dog back inside, but he was waiting for me already at the door. I've never seen a dog afraid before, not outside of the movies. He stood there shaking and whimpering, tossing nervous glances outside as I began to shut the door. Strange. As we walked away, I heard something scratching at the door I just shut. Thinking it was just an outside cat which we have, I ignored it. Best thing to do. But the scratching did not stop for an hour. My eyes locked on our ceiling fan, spinning for eons as scratch, 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 scratch. Over, nice typo. Over and over and over and over and over. I finally got up to go kick the kitty off the steps, but it stopped just as I strode over. But then as I turned to walk back to bed, there was more. I rushed the door to open it. By the time I could see, all I caught a glimpse of was something like a pale hominid, crouching unnaturally as it crawled into the bushes. A distinctly human-looking head, but somehow elongated and sloping back. Long arms. The police wouldn't believe me. I stayed up all night clutching my gun, sitting in the kitchen facing a back door. Time to okay, whatever. The scratching would begin again, and then subside immediately as I stood to open the door. I could not get the courage to go out and find the creature, even with the cold steel at M's side. Something about the darkness was different that night. Obsidian without a moon, that pale gray skin stretched over strange bones, seemed powerful despite its emaciated appearance. I called off work the next day to use the sun to boost my strength. The heat was oppressive, beating through the leaves of the trees and onto my clammy skin. The dog would not go out. He stood in the doorway, whining and tap dancing nervously, which only added to my blood pressure and apprehension. I could see a single footstep in the damp dirt outside the door, a shape that made me sick to see, since I knew that was something beyond the realm of normal understanding. Long toes, wide feet, like a simian, but with obvious aberrations. Swallowing my fear, I delved into the greenery. This motherfucker went outside into the fucking... What the fuck? My ass would be sitting at home. With each slow crunch of my feet going through the ground, my heart skipped a beat. I could feel something watching me. It brushed my arm, and I turned to fire and looked at nothing more than a bush. My nerves were shot. I peeked into some bushes, moving slowly around the yard. Then the shed came into view, and my heart stopped in my chest and tried to crawl into my throat. The shed door was opened. Oh shit. We were told that it could not open, and they were going to demolish it once we were finished with our lease. I entered with the gun raised, ready to rip something in half. What the fuck? You know he's white. Only a white man would go, or only a white person would go into fucking an open shed. It's supposed to be locked off. I entered with the gun raised, ready to rip something in half with a fleet of lead friends. That was so corny. But there was nothing. Tools, shelves, and dusty old spiders skittering off the shadowed corners. Nothing except for a rug upturned and a trap door exposed by it. Damn. Taking my phone, I lifted it open quickly and shined a light down there. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Several pairs of eyes glared back from the dark, and I fired without thinking into the black and shut the door immediately. What? Chilling cries spewed up from the dirt basement, and loud crashes pushed wildly up against the door as I stood holding it shut, slipping into insanity. I could not push the eyes from my mind. They looked animal because they glowed, but also they had intelligence to them. Some were scared, some were angry. What the fuck was living in my backyard this whole time? Maybe it was not the possums that were eating the stray cat food I leave out. Maybe it was them and their young creeping into the porch each night. It makes me sick to think of their long fingers shoveling dry kibble into their rotting mouths. Dear God, I'm going to be sick writing this. I turned a heavy tool chest over the door and a shelf and everything in the garage on top of it. There was no way they could get out. I cannot bring myself to try and kill them. They might get me. No one will believe me or even come out so I can show them this hell. Not even my family. My wife just laughs nervously when I try to bring it up and says I was seeing things, but she won't go out and listen or look. I can't say I blame her. I did not sleep again. I don't know if I ever will, even though there's no more scratching at my door. Got home from work. Luckily everything was fine, but I have to update. They were scratching again. Oh shit. The sun had been down for a few hours now, and my wife and I were dozing on the couch then when it started. The cat and the dog both started acting unusual. The cat scampering away into the house somewhere, and the sheeps, the fuck is a sheep? The sheeps just whining and grunting and growling at the door. I stood up and paced quickly to the door, and it stopped. I slowly crept toward the door, step by step, lightly setting my feet on the ground with great care. I put my ear up to the cold wooden door, hoping to hear something. There was nothing. Crickets drowned on in the background. I came back and sat down to update this. I'm guessing that's what he wrote. There is something on the roof now. I have to go. What the fuck? Let's read. The dog is gonna die. High corner. My ass would be in another state. Dude, let's read these comments. I mean, if they're not hurting you, maybe don't lock them down there. You said you saw intelligence in their eyes. If some creature ripped open my door and stared at me, I'd be between scared and angry. And then it shoots one of my hypothetical kids and locks me down here with my young dying. You may have screwed yourself, man. These creatures will get out. And I don't think a basic double barrel is gonna stop them. That's what I was about to say. Like, why would you? Okay, like you yourself said that there was like intelligence to them. Why the fuck would you shoot them? Shotgun beats frail creature. Just go in there with that or better assault rifle and let them have at it. Luckily, I have a pump action Mossberg. When I get home from work, we will see what is out there. I just hope they haven't escaped. So how's it been? Oh, sorry that you have to deal with the police. Don't believe you. I wish you and your family good luck and to be safe. Hopefully those creatures get away, or if you must blow them to smithereens. Kind of off topic, my neighborhood is like the least creepy place ever. Even at night, it's still very nice, and there's never been any crime where I live. Again, good luck. Sorry that you have to deal with that. Oh, he just repeated the same shit. Dude, please do this for a video. I might upload this. I'm probably gonna upload this. Yeah. I don't know how long that was. I don't know if that'll merit a video though. Okay, so we have okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna do my thoughts afterwards. So here's the thing. In my house, like I live in a new house now. I used to, I don't know if you guys can see me. I'll put like a well. If I do that, then it's gonna be a different. Whatever. I'll just leave it like this. Um, man, you ever had a creepy experience? No, I haven't had anything ever like creepy happen to me. But in my house, my old house, uh, I lived. So my house, and in my backyard, there was a tall fence, and behind it was a school, like a. It wasn't really a school. It was like kind of like a place where you put your kids. And next to that school, like kind of, so like let's say this is like this whole part is my backyard. This side would be the school, and then this side there was a bigger fence, and it was all like it was all like a wooded area, and it was right behind my house. It was like filled with grass and shit like that, and I get this very vivid image when I'm reading this story, that like that exact scenario, but there was nothing over there, like no like kind of structures or anything like that, like a house or a shed or anything like that. What I don't understand is if there's a structure, like a shed, as he's saying, and it's all the way in the back of his where he's like staying, and it's not owned by somebody. As a person living in that area, don't you have the right to like find out whose shit, like whose shed that is, and what's in there? So I think that's pretty stupid. And then he said that he called the cops, and the cops don't believe him. I feel like this is like a bullshit story, but like then again, it sounds very realistic. So I don't know, because why wouldn't the cops like? I mean, I don't understand why they wouldn't like send somebody out to go check it out. Or why doesn't the landlord, like, why don't they contact the landlord and be like, look, motherfucker, like, what the fuck's going on?